Today, we're talking about a huge shift happening right now in how businesses get to know their customers. We're officially moving past the let's play around with AI phase in market research. Now it's all about one thing, delivering real, measurable profit. All right, let's get right into it.
So to really get why this is happening so fast, you just have to look at this one number, 90%. That's the percentage of all the data in the world that was created in just the last 2 years. I mean, think about that. It's an absolute explosion of information, and there's just no way for us humans to keep up on our own.
And that really brings us to the big question that's driving this whole revolution. How can the old ways, things like surveys and focus groups, which are slow, expensive, and let's be honest, often biased, how can they possibly keep up with this tidal wave of data? The answer? They can't. Not anymore.
So here's what we're going to cover. We'll kick things off with what we're calling the insight revolution, where AI goes from being a cool idea to a core business tool. Then we'll dive into the always-on system, which is a whole new way of doing research. We'll look at the human-AI partnership. You'll get to meet your new synthetic customer. Yeah, really. And finally, we'll talk about how to navigate this whole new world.
Okay, first up, the insight revolution. Look, the days of just dabbling with AI tools for fun are over. Budgets are tight, and business leaders want to see results, not just cool experiments. They're asking, how does this actually impact our bottom line from start to finish?
And that's really the key takeaway here. The conversation has completely moved on. We're not asking if AI can help anymore. The only question that matters now is how fast it can deliver real results that actually drive growth.
This need for speed is leading to a pretty radical change in how we think about research. We're shifting away from these slow, one-off projects and moving towards something completely different. A continuous, intelligent operating system for insights that's, it's always on and always learning.
And this new system is built to solve a massive, super expensive problem that you'll find in almost any big company. It's called research amnesia. You know what I'm talking about? It's when one team spends a ton of money to answer a question that another team already answered last year, but that insight is just lost, buried in some old PowerPoint deck on a server nobody can find.
And this really shows you the before and after. The old way, with its separate, siloed projects, just led to wasted money, conflicting decisions, and things moving way too slowly. But this new model, these AI-powered systems, they create a cumulative knowledge base, an institutional memory, really. And that leads to way smarter, way faster decisions that everyone can feel confident about.
So here's how it works in practice. It's this continuous, agile loop. First, the AI detects a new trend bubbling up. Then, the human researchers jump in to diagnose the why behind it. After that, teams get together to decide what to do, and then they act. The amazing part is this whole cycle can happen in a matter of days, not quarters. It just completely changes the pace of business.
But, okay, where do people fit into all this automation? And that brings us to a really important idea, the human-AI partnership. AI isn't here to replace researchers. It's here to be the most powerful co-pilot they've ever had.
And this partnership works so well because each side is brilliant at different things. I mean, AI is an absolute beast at processing thousands of survey responses in minutes or finding tiny statistical patterns a human would never, ever see. But humans, we are absolutely essential for understanding cultural nuance, for making ethical calls, and maybe most importantly, for weaving all those data points into a powerful story that actually gets people to act.
And that really brings us to this idea, which is so critical. Your job is not going to be taken by AI, but it will be taken by someone who knows how to use AI. See, the real threat isn't the technology itself, it's being left behind. The future belongs to the people who master these tools to make themselves even better at what they do. All right, now for what is, honestly, the most fascinating, kind of futuristic application of AI in research that's happening today. This is where all the abstract stuff we've been talking about gets very, very real. It's time for you to meet your synthetic customer.
So what on earth are they? Well, synthetic personas are basically AI-generated versions of your target customers. They're built using layers and layers of real-world data, purchase history, social media activity, survey answers, to create these digital agents that think, behave, and make choices just like real people do, with frankly, stunning accuracy.
And the impact on efficiency? It is just staggering. I mean, look at this. Research from Bain & Company found that using synthetic customers can give you comparable insights in half the time and at 1/3 of the cost of the old methods. This just opens up a level of experimentation and learning that was totally impossible before.
And the ways you can use this are so practical. You can test new product features or pricing before you ever write a line of code. You can test ad campaigns on those really hard-to-reach audiences instantly. You can even train your sales team by having them role-play with AI personas that act just like real customers with real objections. Of course, with all of this incredible power comes some pretty big responsibilities. And that brings us to our final section, navigating the new reality. Because to make any of this work in the long run, you absolutely have to build it on a foundation of trust and ethics.
Think about it. When you're asking a leader to make a multi-million-dollar decision based on what an AI is telling them, they have to have complete and total confidence in that output. In this new world, trust isn't some nice-to-have feature. Trust is the product.
But building that trust means you have to tackle some really tough challenges. You've got the black box problem, right? Where the AI gives you an answer, but you can't explain how it got there. There's the huge risk of accidentally scaling up biases that are already hiding in your data. And then there's the risk of hallucinations, where the AI just confidently makes stuff up. And on top of all that, you've got to navigate data privacy.
And this is exactly why the entire industry is shifting away from these black box systems that nobody understands toward what we call glass box or explainable AI. These are systems built so you can see the methodology, you can trace the data, and you can understand why the AI made a recommendation. This is what lets you make confident and, just as important, defensible decisions.
So how do you actually get started with all this? Well, first, take a hard look at your data and pick a very specific, clear goal. Then, start small. Pick a low-risk project to build some confidence. Critically, you have to validate everything the AI tells you with your own human experts. And finally, you have to set up strong ethical rules from day one.
Which really leaves us with one final question to think about. As these tools get better and cheaper, pretty soon everyone is going to have them. The companies that win won't just be the ones that use AI, they'll be the ones that build AI systems that people can actually trust. So you have to ask yourself, is trust your biggest risk to manage, or could it actually be your greatest competitive advantage?